Well, I can't say I saw this coming, but I think the tide may be starting to turn. CNBC have published a new piece entitled Why Elon Musk is Betting Big on Supercomputers to Boost Tesla and XAI. This is particularly noteworthy because typically most guests on CNBC discussing Tesla believe that they are just a car company and the only thing that matters is their current and next quarter's gross automotive margins. This is going to be good.
Tech titan Elon Musk is known for being a car guy, a rocket guy, a social media guy, and now he's also a supercomputer guy.
And Elon Musk says Tesla will spend well over $1 billion by the end of 2024 on building an in-house supercomputer known as Project Dojo.
Although supercomputers look a lot like data centers, they're designed to perform calculations and process data at extremely high speeds.
Both of them are about scaling up to very large amounts of computation. However, in a data center, you have a lot of small parallel tasks that are not necessarily connected to each other. Whereas, for example, when you're training a very large AI model, those are not entirely independent computations. So you do need tighter interconnection between those computations, and the passing of data back and forth needs to be potentially at a much higher bandwidth and a much lower latency.
Musk wants to use this supercomputing power to improve Tesla's autonomous driving capabilities, and finally deliver on the company's years-long promise to bring robotaxis to market. Supercomputers are also needed to train Tesla's humanoid robot, Optimus, which the company plans to use in its factories starting next year. All in all, Musk says that Tesla plans to spend $10 billion this year on AI. Musk's new AI venture, XAI, also needs powerful supercomputers to train XAI's chatbot, Grok, which directly competes with OpenAI's ChatGPT and Google's Gemini chatbots. Several of Musk's supercomputer projects are already in development. In August, Elon Musk teased Tesla's AI supercomputer cluster called Cortex on X. Cortex is being built at Tesla's Austin, Texas headquarters. Back in January, Tesla also announced that it planned to spend $500 million to build its Dojo supercomputer in Buffalo, New York. Meanwhile, Musk just revealed that XAI's Colossus supercomputer in Memphis, Tennessee was up and running. CNBC wanted to learn more about what Musk's bet on supercomputers might mean for the future of his companies, and the challenges he faces in the ultra-competitive world of AI development.
So I've got to take a moment here. It's still going to blow in my mind that CNBC are talking about Tesla and specifically Tesla AI. This shouldn't be mind-blowing. The narrative for years, as Tesla's been developing the world's best example of real-world AI with FSD, has been Tesla just a car company. They don't have anything that Toyota doesn't already have. Gross automotive margins, electric vehicle demand, the competition is coming. And now suddenly they're acknowledging what's... So let me just ask a question actually. Given what we've just heard, Dojo, Cortex, the huge amount of compute being built out, autonomy, how would you describe Tesla? What kind of company is Tesla? Because still today, most of the people covering Tesla, most of the analysts are automotive analysts, trying to shove the company we're looking at now, building out huge AI training supercluster, their own Dojo chip, blah, 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 humanoid robots, trying to shove that company into a automotive company shaped hole and seemingly ignoring anything other than the aspect of Tesla's business that looks like a car company.
You had supercomputers. If you go to any of the national labs, they're used for everything from simulation materials discovery to climate modeling to modeling nuclear reactions and so on and so forth. However, what's unique about AI supercomputers is that they are entirely optimized for AI.
Musk launched XAI in 2023 to develop large language models and AI products like its chatbot Grok, as an alternative to AI tools being created by OpenAI, Microsoft, and Google. Despite being one of its original founders, Elon Musk left OpenAI in 2018 and has since become one of the company's harshest critics.
Oh, speaking of OpenAI, actually closed AI, yesterday I saw this and thought, surely this can't possibly be correct. Maybe it's not. I'm in disbelief here. But apparently, according to Reuters, OpenAI is set to remove non-profit control and give Sam Altman equity. Remember the same guy who had this to say not long ago?
You make a lot of money, do you?
No. I paid enough for health insurance. I have no equity in OpenAI.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. You need a lawyer.
I need a what?
You need a lawyer or an agent.
I'm doing this because I love it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, Senator Kennedy.
Okay.
Yes, he's doing it because he loves it. Has no equity. Oh, wait, what did we just see? Plot twist. It appears that Sam Altman may soon have roughly $10 billion of equity in OpenAI. Obviously, since he's just doing it because he loves it, I'm sure that he won't retain this equity. It'll almost immediately be given away to a worthy cause. After all, there's only so many multi-million-dollar cars one can buy before there's nothing else to spend $10 billion on, right? Sam here, clearly living a very quiet life, well within his means. Totally a good look, just doing it because he loves to. Now, look, I'm not a hater here. The guy's already worth squillions of dollars. A very, very substantial investment portfolio, but not a great look to be feigning virtue in front of senators explaining how you don't have an equity stake in OpenAI, you don't get paid, and then out of nowhere, suddenly, potentially getting a $10-ish billion slice of the company that has miraculously almost completed its transformation from open source, not for profit, to closed source and for profit. Sam Altman, strong serpent vibes. And in fact, now that OpenAI has become the very thing it was founded to prevent occurring, Musk's hand was forced with the founding of XAI. No question, if OpenAI had actually retained its original mission, there would not be an XAI, but Musk is like, oh, for fuck's sake, do I really have to do it again? Do I have to do another thing? Do I have to solve another problem? God damn it. All right, I will. Story of the dude's life. Hilariously, this image, I believe, November 2023, key members of OpenAI. Next minute, we've got one departure, two departures, and now she's gone as well. Three departures. Look who's left. Totally nothing to see here, not a red flag, everything's fine. Just wanted to add that important context before we hear CNBS describe this alleged feud with Sam Altman over the ditched non-profit promise.
In June, it was announced that XAI would build a supercomputer in Memphis, Tennessee, to carry out the task of training Grok.
It would represent the city's largest multi-billion-dollar capital investment by a new-to-market company in Memphis history.
The announcement came at the heels of XAI securing $6 billion in Series B funding, raising its valuation at the time from $18 to $24 billion. By early September, Musk announced that his training supercluster in Memphis, called Colossus, was online. The supercluster is powered by 100,000 NVIDIA H100 graphics processing units, or GPUs, making it the most powerful AI training system in the world, according to Musk. He went on to say that the cluster would double in size in the next few months.
These GPUs have been around for a while. These started off in laptops, in desktops, to be able to offload graphics work from the core CPU. So this is an accelerator. If you go back sort of 10 years or so, 15 years ago, online gaming was blowing up and people wanted to game at speed. And then they realized that having graphics and the general purpose of the game on the same processor just led to constraints. So it's a very specific task to train a large language model. And doing that on a classic CPU, you can. It works, but it's one of those examples where the particular architecture of a GPU plays well for that type of workload.
In fact, GPUs became so popular that chipmakers like NVIDIA for a time had a hard time keeping up with demand. The fight for GPUs has even caused competition among Musk's own companies. Musk's social media company X and XAI are closely intertwined, with X hosting XAI's Grok chatbot on its site, and XAI using some capacity in X data centers to train the large language models that power Grok.
In December 2023, Elon Musk ordered NVIDIA to...
Hold up. I know who this is. I don't want to jump the gun here, but I'm jumping the gun here. Almost everything that this very unbiased journalist has to say about Tesla and Elon is negative, and I have a funny feeling right now we may possibly be about to hear an outrageous lie that Elon Musk ordered NVIDIA to ship chips that were originally intended for Tesla to XAI to the detriment of Tesla, the company, and Tesla shareholders. Just to be clear, as I said at the time, despite the lies in the fake news, Tesla had ordered chips. They were not, however, in a position to take delivery to activate those chips and to begin training on them. Why? As I mentioned in the past, when you get a fuck ton of H100s from NVIDIA in the mail via FedEx, you don't just unwrap them and press the on button and suddenly they're working. There is an enormous amount of preliminary work that needs to occur. You physically need to build structures, like literally build a gigantic structure to house these things, right? A big building. In addition, there's a huge amount of electrical work, right? These things draw so much power, it's absurd. There's no magic turn on button, right? Then you also need to thermally manage these things. They run so fucking hot, it's ridiculous. Got to install all of the thermal management. Then, of course, the actual racks to hold them, the configuration, the networking, the cybersecurity. There is an enormous amount of stuff that is required to be in place before you can actually begin operating these things. Now, I don't know if Laura, super unbiased Laura, is going to say anything negative or accurately convey what happened. But the narrative at the time from the fake news wasn't, oh, well, Tesla acknowledged that they couldn't actually begin operating these things. They literally would have been sitting around for months doing nothing, wasted capital, Instead, Musk said, well, we can't use them yet. We'll send those to XAI and we'll take the next delivery, which is what happened. By the way, this is the perfect way not to fuck over your supplier, NVIDIA. Imagine if Tesla said, oh, well, we can't use them, so fuck you. We're not going to take delivery. Can you just not sell them to us? They would have been in the bad books with NVIDIA, right? So instead, solves the problem. There's no loss to Tesla. Tesla immediately takes delivery when they can, once everything's up and running. But the media, that's not the story the media had. So I'm just saying this now in case Laura, who's never been anti-Elon, anti-Tesla, never been super negative, happens to lie to our faces in this particular segment. Of course, she wouldn't do that because she's very honest and reasonable and doesn't have a negative bias. But I just thought, just in case, I might say that before she speaks.
Ship 12,000 of these very coveted AI chips, H100 GPUs from NVIDIA, to X instead of to Tesla when they had been reserved for Tesla. So he effectively delayed Tesla's being able to continue building out data center and AI infrastructure by 5-6 months.
Oh, what do you know? Lying Laura just lied to you, outrageously suggesting that that decision had delayed Tesla by many months. False. How awkward that I knew ahead of time that this wench was going to lie again. So I pre-debunked her lie, and then here it is. Bam. A lie. What is it with these so-called journalists who are so bent on having a negative spin on everything that they won't do their homework? Stupid or nefarious? That's my only question. Which is it?
The incident was one example that shareholders used in a lawsuit against Musk and Tesla's board of directors that accused them of breach of fiduciary duty. They argued that after founding XAI, Musk began diverting scarce talent and resources from Tesla to his new company. Musk defended his decision on X, saying that Tesla was not ready to utilize the chips and that they would have just sat in a warehouse had he not diverted them.
Now hold up a second here. So this dumb bitch, yes, I did just say dumb bitch one more time. This dumb bitch just lied, said that this slowed Tesla by, 5 months? After saying that and then throwing some more FUD, some lawsuit, cool story, bro, anyone can file a lawsuit. She then says that Musk debunked this, but I'm going to guess that this is being framed as an inaccurate statement for some reason. Again, I don't want to be too demeaning here, but Laura must be really fucking dumb to not understand what is involved in getting these chips operating. You don't just get them in the mail from FedEx and then turn on. Done. We've seen Tesla physically building the structure that these things were going to go in, right? The structure wasn't built. Let's just move on. This FUD just does my head in, bro.
Musk has gone as far as to suggest that Tesla should invest $5 billion into XAI. Still, Musk has big plans on how artificial intelligence can transform Tesla. In January, he wrote on X that Tesla should be viewed as an AI robotics company rather than a car company. Key to this transformation is Tesla's custom-built supercomputer called Dojo, details of which the company first publicly announced during Tesla's AI Day presentation in 2021.
There's an insatiable demand for speed as well as capacity for neural network training. And Elon prefetched this, and a few years back, he asked us to design a super fast training computer, and that's how we started Project Dojo.
During the company's Q2 earnings call last year, Musk told investors that Tesla would spend over $1 billion on Dojo by the end of 2024. A few months later, Morgan Stanley predicted that Dojo could boost Tesla's value by $500 billion. Dojo's main job is to process and train AI models using the huge amounts of video and data captured by Tesla vehicles. The goal is to improve Tesla's suite of driver assistance features, which the company calls Autopilot, as well as its more...
I just can't not... every time, bro, CNBS using like Stone Age stock footage of Tesla vehicles. What is it? Oh, every time. This is looks like a roughly 2012, 13, or maybe at the most a 14 Model S. 10-year-old footage. Can you imagine you got a segment on Apple, right? And you got an iPhone 2 in the background in the stock footage. Totally just an accident, of course. They're just lazy.
To improve Tesla's suite of driver assistance features, which the company calls Autopilot, as well as its more robust full self-driving, or FSD system.
They've sold, 5 million plus cars. Each one of those cars typically has 8 cameras plus in it. They're streaming all of that video back to Tesla. So what can they do with that training set? Obviously, they can develop full self-driving, and they're getting close to that.
Despite their names, neither Autopilot nor FSD make Tesla vehicles autonomous and require active driver supervision, as Tesla states on its website. The company has garnered scrutiny from regulators who say that Tesla falsely advertised the capabilities of its Autopilot and FSD systems. A 2024 report by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration also found that out of the 956 Tesla crashes the agency reviewed, 467 of those could be linked to Autopilot. But reaching full autonomy is critical for Tesla, whose sky-high valuation is largely dependent on bringing robotaxis to market, analysts say. The company reported lackluster results in its latest earnings report and has fallen behind other automakers working on autonomous vehicle technology.
Bro, I'm dying here. The FUD tsunami. I don't even want to get started on the regulators saying this or that, or maybe it could be this. Anyone can say, don't get me started. But that just got me, bro. Tesla has fallen behind other companies pursuing autonomous vehicles. Oh, not this again. I know exactly where this is going. Cruise. No, they won't say Cruise now because they had to suspend their service after the safety cover-up. No, Waymo, who's already operating robotaxis in some pre-mapped pockets of California, Phoenix. Therefore, they're well ahead of Tesla. I feel bad for like the 18 new people that are watching this channel for the very first time. I've explained this so many times, I'm not going to cover it again. But God damn it, dude. Oh, shit. By the way, I do have to say, what an elegant, beautiful clusterfuck of a... Oh, God, dude. Reminder, folks, 2 weeks from now, We Robot, Tesla's autonomy event.
These include Alphabet-owned Waymo, which is already operating fully autonomous taxis commercially in several US cities, GM's Cruise, and Amazon Zoox. In China, competitors include Didi and Baidu. Tesla hopes Dojo will change that. According to Musk, Dojo has been running tasks for Tesla since 2023. And since Dojo has a very specific task, to train Tesla's self-driving systems, the company decided that it's best to design its own chip, called the D1.
This chip is manufactured in 7nm technology. It packs 50 billion transistors in a miserly 645mm square. One thing you'll notice, 100% of the area out here is going towards machine learning training and bandwidth. This is a pure machine learning machine.
For high-performance computing, it is very common to have supercomputers that have CPUs and GPUs. However, increasingly, AI supercomputers also contain specialized chips that are specially designed for AI workloads. And the Dojo D1 is an example of that.
One of the key things that came through when I was looking at D1 is latency. It's training on a video feed that's coming from cameras in cars. So the big thing is kind of how do you move those big files around and how do you handle for latency?
Aside from the D1, which is being manufactured by Taiwanese chipmaker TSMC, Tesla is also designing the entire infrastructure of its supercomputer from the ground up.
Designing a custom supercomputer gives them the opportunity to optimize the entire stack, right? Go from the algorithms and the hardware, make sure that they're designed to work perfectly in concert with each other. It's not just Tesla, but if you see a lot of the hyperscalers, the Googles of the world, the Metas, the Microsofts, the Amazons, they all have their own custom chips and systems designed for AI.
In the case of Dojo, the design looks something like this. 25 D1 chips make up what Tesla calls a training tile, with each tile containing its own hardware for cooling, data transfer, and power, and acting as a self-sufficient computer. 6 tiles make up a tray, and 2 trays make up a cabinet. Finally, 10 cabinets make up an exapod, which Tesla says is capable of 1.1 exaflops of compute.
Pretty wild to see CNBS actually describing, in fairly accurate detail, the structure of Tesla's Dojo chip. And what's even crazier, though, is they're regurgitating stuff we saw in 2021, about 3 years ago, and still miraculously today. Most analysts on Wall Street laser focused on Tesla's automotive business, gross automotive margins this quarter, and nothing else.
To put that into context, 1 exaflop is equal to 1 quintillion calculations per second. This means that if each person on the planet completed 1 calculation per second, it would still take over 4 years to do what an exascale computer can do in 1 second.
It is impressive, right? But there are other, supercomputers certainly that are performing in that ballpark as well.
One of those supercomputers is located at the Department of Energy's Oak Ridge National Laboratory in Tennessee. The system, called Frontier, operates at 1.2 exaflops and has a theoretical peak performance of 2 exaflops. The supercomputer is being used to simulate proteins to help develop new drugs, model turbulence to improve the engine designs of airplanes, and create large language models. The next generation of zeta-scale supercomputers are already in development. A zetaflop supercomputer has a computing capability equal to 1,000 exaflops. As for Dojo, Dickens says its utility could go beyond turning Teslas into autonomous vehicles.
If you wanted to train a robot on how to dig a hole, how many Tesla cars have driven past somebody digging a hole on the side of the road? And could you then point that at Optimus and say, hey, I've got hundreds of hours of how people dig holes. I want to train you as a robot on how to dig holes. So I think you've got to think wider of Tesla than just a car company.
At a shareholder meeting this summer, Musk claimed that Optimus could turn Tesla into a $25 trillion company. But not everyone is convinced.
It's a daydream of robots to replace people. It's a lofty.
This is amazing. They got him. The guy, Craig Dingbat Irwin, who has officially dethroned Gordon, the class clown, Johnson. No question, this guy has an intense humiliation fetish. This is the actual guy who's consistently been claiming, I'm going to quote, Tesla is just a car company. Tesla doesn't have anything that Toyota doesn't already have. Like, for example, Toyota obviously has their own AI chips, right? They got the guy. Oh, this has got to be so good, bro. Now, look, I think there's only two reasonable explanations for why Craig Irwin says what he says about Tesla. One, he actually does have a humiliation fetish, and he gets aroused by embarrassing himself in public. And I think that's a legitimate possible explanation. Alternatively, perhaps he's the face of a machine, a well-paid face of a machine, to say really dumb things for whatever reason that may be. I can't possibly accept that this guy actually believes what he's saying. I just can't. You cannot possibly be that stupid and still be able to feed and clothe yourself. All right. So as you watch this, maybe Craig's facial expression will give away how aroused he is while he humiliates himself. Or maybe not.
The goal, the price points, don't sound too logical to me, but it's a great aspirational goal. It's something that could be transformational for humanity if he makes it work. EVs have worked. Just call me a very, very heavy skeptic on this robot.
Despite all this potential for Musk's super...
That's it? Where was the Tesla doesn't have anything that Toyota doesn't already have? Craig, I'm disappointed. I hope there's more. That was a massive letdown. Dude, I was really getting excited for him to just completely embarrass himself, and there was nothing. I mean, Craig, you've disappointed me, man.
Computers, the tech titan and his companies have quite a few challenges to overcome as they figure out how to scale the technology and use it to bolster their businesses. One such challenge is securing enough hardware. Although Tesla is designing its own chips, Musk is still highly dependent on NVIDIA's GPUs. For example, in June, Musk said that Tesla would spend between $3 and $4 billion this year on NVIDIA hardware. Here he is talking about the supply of NVIDIA chips during Tesla's latest financial results call.
What we are seeing is that the demand for NVIDIA hardware is so high that it's often difficult to get the GPUs. I guess I'm quite concerned about actually being able to get state-of-the-art NVIDIA GPUs when we want them. And I think this therefore requires that we put a lot more effort on Dojo in order to ensure that we've got the training capability that we need.
Even if Musk did have all the chips he wanted, not everyone agrees that Tesla is close to full autonomy, and that Dojo is the solution to achieving this feat. Unlike many other automakers working on autonomous vehicles, Tesla has chosen to forego the use of expensive LiDAR systems in its cars, instead opting for vision-only system using cameras.
The issues in FSD are related to the sensors on the cars. People that drive these vehicles, report phantom obstacles on the road where the car will just suddenly brake or the steering wheel will tweak you aside where you're dodging something that doesn't exist. If you imagine a white tractor-trailer truck that falls over and it's a cloudy day, you've got white on white and a scenario that is not very easily computed and very easily recognized. Now, a driver that's paying attention is going to see this and hit the brakes hard. A computer, it can easily be fooled by that kind of situation. So for them to get rid of that, they need to add other sensors onto the vehicles. They've been...
Thank fuck. I'm glad he's back to embarrass himself. Just wouldn't have been the same otherwise. Now look, humans have two cameras, they're called eyes, and one brain, one neural network, right? We have proof of concept, hundreds of millions of humans, okay? Proof of concept already exists, so it's not possible to argue that it isn't theoretically possible to solve this problem with cameras. The difference, of course, humans with two cameras can only look in one direction at the same time, easily distracted. A robot on wheels, surrounded by cameras, 360-degree vision, can look in all directions at the same time and is never distracted. For Craig to then go on and claim, arrogantly, that Tesla needs to add additional sensors that are not required to solve vision, to solve driving, again, literally hundreds of millions of examples of humans doing it with just two cameras. Just two optical cameras. Truly embarrassing. What's even funnier is the way this is being framed. Unlike literally every other company who are doing this, Tesla isn't doing this. Therefore, Tesla must be wrong because it's not like Tesla's ever done anything that no other company was doing and then it turned out that Tesla's approach was right. Like, for example, electric vehicles. Oh, wait, they did that. So silly. What is going to be absolutely wild in the future is to watch what happens to all of the companies who still today are dependent upon expensive sensors like LiDAR, who must pre-map in high definition anywhere they wish their vehicles to operate, as Tesla widely deploys their general form of autonomy. that folks today just don't recognize the difference between what Tesla has developed, which is generalized and will scale massively. They've already got around 7 million vehicles on roads, and with a software update in the future, they'll all almost essentially overnight be able to operate autonomously. It's like a human, right? If you learn to drive, doesn't matter where you learn to drive, you can apply that knowledge. If somebody takes you to a new city, you fly to a new city, and you rent a vehicle there, you'll in fact be able to drive in that new city that you've never driven in before. No LiDAR necessary, no pre-mapping in HD necessary, because you, with your brain, now know how to drive in a general way. That's the analogy most applicable to what Tesla's doing with their generalized solution for autonomy. Tesla vehicles look out into the world with their cameras and see, they perceive, they plan, and they act in the real world. Photons in, controls out. With enough examples of what a road looks like, what a dividing line looks like, a median strip, a traffic light, a stop sign, what to do in this situation, at this roundabout. The vehicles just learn intuitively how to drive, period, not how to drive on this particular block that we've already mapped in high definition. LiDAR is a crutch. You've got to understand, these companies pre-mapping in HD using LiDAR are literally bouncing a goddamn fucking laser off everything, every square inch of road. So everywhere ahead of time, and then with LiDAR, as they're driving through that, they've already pre-mapped it, they're bouncing the same shit off the same objects just to make sure nothing's moved. There's no difference between this and being on rails. Everything's totally fine. There's nothing, as long as nothing changes, right? But you can't then pick up one of these vehicles and throw it into a new city that you haven't mapped in HD and expect it's going to do anything other than start mowing people down or just pull over and cry for daddy to come help. And if you think I'm full of shit, cool story, bro, whatever. Forget what I've said. Go watch videos of what Tesla vehicles with pure vision today, without pre-mapping in HD, without LiDAR, without the expensive sensors, are capable of doing. Watch videos. They're all over the internet of what the software is currently capable of doing. You'll find many intervention-free drives of 5, 10, 15, 20, 40 minutes where no one needs to intervene. We already have proof of concept from hundreds of millions of humans. In addition, we can literally see Tesla vehicles today on software that's still improving, driving as well as, and in many cases much better than, the supposedly further ahead competition like Cruise, Waymo, with LiDAR. So how can Craig possibly argue that Tesla's going to need to add these unnecessary sensors when you could watch videos, these end-to-end drives today? So again, I'm pretty sure the guy's just trying to get off by humiliating himself by saying this. I don't think he believes, I just don't think he actually believes what he said. Thank fuck he came back for round 2. I was a little bit disappointed about that first comment from Craig.
Vehemently against LiDAR. They need to change the fundamental design. Dojo's not going to fix that. Dojo is just not going to fix the core problems in FSD.
At times, even Musk has questioned Dojo's future.
We're pursuing the dual path of NVIDIA and Dojo. Think of Dojo as a long shot. It's a long shot worth taking because the payoff is potentially very high, but it's not something that is a high probability. It's not like a sure thing at all. It's a high risk, high payoff program.
And then there are the environmental concerns. Supercomputers like those being built by Musk and other tech giants require massive amounts of electricity to power them, even more than the energy used in conventional computing, and an exorbitant amount of water to cool them. For example, one analysis found that after globally consuming an estimated 460 terawatt hours in 2022, data centers' total electricity consumption could reach more than 1,000 terawatt hours in 2026. This demand is roughly equivalent to the electricity consumption of Japan. In a study published last year, experts also predicted that global AI demand for water may account for up to 6.6 billion cubic meters of water withdrawal by 2027. This summer, environmental and health groups said xAI is adding to smog problems in Memphis, Tennessee, after the company started running at least 18 natural gas-burning turbines to power its supercomputer facility without securing the proper permits. xAI did not respond to a CNBC request for comment. But beyond supply chain issues and environmental concerns, some question whether supercomputers and AI are good business.
Tesla's a company with car manufacturer problems, with AI and robotics aspirations. They're not about to make any money from AI anytime soon.
Craig's voice there, the pitch increasing as if he's unsure of what he's saying or he doesn't believe it. It's almost like he's asking a question as opposed to making a statement he believes. I'm going to rewind it a sec, right? This kind of stuff matters. He does not sound like a guy that believes what he's saying right now. He sounds like he's trying to get away with convincing somebody of a statement he knows to be false. Maybe I'm imagining things. What do you guys think?
And AI are good business.
Tesla's a company with car manufacturer problems, with AI and robotics aspirations. They're not about to make any money from AI anytime soon. And this FSD that was promised 5 years ago isn't really about to happen either. Dojo is a massive project. It's interesting and exciting, and it could open tremendous frontiers for them. I think we need to be skeptical, right? How does someone make money with this? There's no visibility on that whatsoever. it seems like, a shot in the dark.
Instead,
what? How does someone make money with a... Is he talking about the humanoid robot? How they make money with that? Craig, is this real life? How they make money is, one, they sell the hardware for a reasonable profit, and then two, they charge monthly for the software, which gets increasingly more capable over time. That's not even like back of the napkin method. That's back of a fraction of a quarter of a tenth of a tiny little sliver of a napkin. What is he talking about?
Erwin suggests that Musk stick to what he knows, making EVs.
I'm very bearish on the stock. I see the fundamental value in EVs, right? If Tesla goes into Thailand and India, and then they invest billions in India, the supply chain will bounce into existence. They're going to be a cost leader in the world. They need to get out there with the mini car. So if they do, the outlook for the company will change.
But Dickens is more positive.
So I think Tesla's changing the supercomputing paradigm here because the scale of their investment, the deep pockets that they've got, and their ability to put all that investment to a single use case. Now, you can argue that FSD's been promised for a long time, and you can think what you want to think of Elon. All of the above is valid, but they are ahead, and they've already built a moat that the likes of GM, Stellantis, and Ford won't get close to anytime soon, or ever.
Well, damn, son. I agree. I'm amazed that this actually made it into... He's right, bro. The dude just literally said unassailable lead. Give up, bitches. I completely agree. Credit to CNBS for at least having some opposing opinions. And also credit to CNBS for talking about Tesla and their AI efforts. Didn't see that coming. Quite the contrast. We have Craig Humiliation Fetish Irwin claiming that Tesla will need to add LiDAR to their vehicles to solve autonomy and completely redo everything. And also suggesting that they should just stick to what they do best, which is EVs, and not take any risks or pursue any in fact, trillion-dollar opportunities, autonomy, and the humanoid robot, apparently claiming that he doesn't understand how they'd make money on a humanoid robot. And on the other end of the spectrum, we have somebody accurately claiming that Tesla has built a moat, and it's not one that anyone's going to be able to cross. Remember, folks, Tesla today, give or take, roughly 7 million vehicles on roads collecting data. No other company on Earth has close to that data. They're many orders of magnitude behind Tesla. And data is how you train your software to become increasingly capable. If Craig Irwin was covering stocks called maybe 2 decades ago, I have a funny feeling he would have been saying that Amazon should just stick to selling books. Wow. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients. Plus, has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. And I haven't missed a daily video in more than 3 years. Must be a coincidence, right? Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. But don't take my word for it. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. By the way, viewer, that makes 2 of us. On to the next. Just got my AG1 in the mail. Legit feeling the effects after day 3. This viewer's been taking AG1 for 8 months and says, what an investment. Another. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? Hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR or I can keep going. Plenty more to come. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. If you're still skeptical, hey, I don't blame you. Everyone on the planet seems to be promoting AG1 now, but guess what? They weren't nearly 3 years ago when I had this to say privately to my Patreon audience before there was a relationship. when I was asked about what I was doing for my health, energy, and so on. Just sharing my genuine, honest thoughts about a product I'd recently discovered that was at the time called Athletic Greens, now AG1. If I could only recommend one supplement to take, Athletic Greens, and I'm not getting paid to say this, Athletic Greens is a fucking game changer. I cannot believe how effective this is. No longer having a lack of energy in the afternoons. It's fucking amazing. There's only one thing to recommend seriously. Try Athletic Greens. You won't go back. So obviously, just like Elon Musk is a liar, a fraud, a con man, a scammer, a fake engineer, and Tesla's going bankrupt, you shouldn't trust that guy from about 3 years ago who, without any financial incentive, was promoting this product to his audience on Patreon when they were asking about health and what he's doing for supplements. Because obviously, there was some other reason he recommended that, obviously. Not sure what it was, but don't trust that guy. And all the testimonials, like my mental game's improved with AG1. I feel better than ever. I'm so impressed I've bought it for both my parents. I feel more focused and have better digestion. Incredible difference. No more afternoon fatigue. It's relieved gut issues. These are all just obviously fake testimonials from fake people. Right? Wrong. Just try it. Unless you hate yourself. If you hate yourself and you don't even want to risk possibly feeling better, this is not for you. But for everyone else, what's the worst that could happen? Try it for a month. See how you feel. It's a no-brainer. Just click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR. You'll get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 plus 5 travel packs. And you'll take the colossal risk that maybe you might have a similar experience to some of the people whose testimonials we've read in this video.